the State Secretary of the Electrical Trades Union, Mr. Alan Hicks. Give him a round of applause. Thanks, brothers and sisters and comrades, for turning up today. I'm gutted to be here. I'm fucking so proud of everyone that's turned up, but I'm gutted to be here. To be in a country called Australia where we're denying Australians procedural fairness, natural justice. That doesn't sound like a democracy to me. That sounds like a fucking dictatorship, and I say shame. Shame! So I'm a little bit emotional, and I don't apologise for that, because we've had people with over 60 plus collective years fighting their asses off for working people in this country, and that's how the ALP and the ACTU treat Rita Malia, Darren Greenfield, Robbie Keir, and I say shame! Every worker in this country has a right to procedural fairness. Every worker in this country has a right to natural justice. But with the flick of a pen in Canberra and a flick of a pen in here and the support of Sally McManus and Michelle O'Neill from the ACTU leadership, they denied your leaders that right. And when you talk about administration, of a union, some people may know this, some people might not, but there's a section in the Fair Work Act, section 323. And if the General Manager of the Fair Work Commission can go off and prove to a federal court that a union is dysfunctional, then the federal court can appoint administrators. But instead of doing that, what the federal government has decided to do is, we don't care about the rule of law, we don't care about the fact there's a passage of legislation if it's required, because if the CFMEU, as respondents to a section 323 application, choose to defend that application, what did Tony Burke say? He was going to legislate it anyway. Shame! And I just want to take you through a couple of steps. Let me get this 100% correct, because it shows what a political stitch-up this is. No more, no less. This isn't about criminality. This is about a political stitch-up on the biggest stage this country's ever seen. When we talk about dysfunctionality, have a listen to this. On the 14th of July, that 60 Minutes expose went out, all the allegations and carry on. What did the CFMEU do in response? They called a national executive meeting on the Monday the 15th of July. They took those allegations very seriously. The national executive appointed Zack Smith, the national secretary, to administer the Victorian branch, to take steps to address any allegation and anomalies that may have arisen. That's what they did on day fucking one. On day two, he and the divisional executive set about creating a 7-point plan on how they were going to address all of these allegations and anomalies. On that day, he wrote to Tony Burke, the Federal Workplace Relations Minister, and said, this is what we're doing. We're taking unprecedented steps. We have taken control of the Victorian branch to administer it, to go through these allegations and anomalies, and here's our 7-point plan to go through it. And what did Tony Burke do? On the Wednesday, the very day after he received that correspondence, he said, not good enough, we're going to put you into administration, and if you defend it, which is your lawful right, we're going to legislate it anyway. If people can't see this for what it is, then you're in the wrong country. This is an absolute political stitch-up on the biggest account, and it gets worse. Because on that same day, when Tony Burke said he was going to take away the lawful rights of a trade union and its members in this country by forcing administration through legislation on you, what did Sally McManus do, the peak leader of the trade union movement? She came out and publicly said, we support the administration. And further, called a national meeting of the fucking ACTU to suspend the affiliation of the CFMEU. Shame! Now, when you have an organisation, a proud, historic organisation like the CFMEU, that has the capacity to do those things in 2 days, after the allegations that were raised at 60 Minutes, in 2 days, does that sound like it's dysfunctional to you? I say not. It's far from dysfunctional, and I'm proud to be working with the CFMEU for over the last 24 years of my working life. I want to I want to read a couple of things. Hold on. Look around you today, brothers and sisters. Look around you today, brothers and sisters. This is the start of something big. Because when you got the political arm of the trade union movement, and when you got the peak arm of the trade union movement attacking the most successful union in this country, we are going to stand up and we're going to continue to fight until they repeal these laws. And I want to call on Sally McManus to answer this. Are you going to stand with trade union members from the CFMEU in this country? And are you going to mount a national campaign against these laws? Are you? Because when the Liberals were in party and they were pushing through the Insurance Integrity Bill, remember that? Remember that? And the Omnibus Bill? And the CFMEU threw in millions of dollars and the ETU threw in millions of dollars because Sally come knocking. We supported them 110%. We mobilised on the ground. We had rallies like this. And at the end of that, Sally McManus said this. ACTU Secretary Sally McManus said, the Insurance Integrity Bill was an unprecedented attack on the basic rights of workers to organise and has no equivalent in the Western world. This government is engaging in an ideological attack on working people, rather than addressing systematic theft and wrongdoing by employers, she said. It goes on. Then when we knocked over the bill, when we got rid of the Insurance Integrity Bill, Sally McManus said this, don't mess with working people. Yes. Don't underestimate us or we'll come back and bite you. Yes. Australian people don't like double standards. Yes. They do not like that you can have a special law that just applies to working people where those same laws don't apply to politicians, yes. that don't apply to big business, yes. that don't apply to the banks. Working people of this country will reject any such laws. And secondly, our government has been in authoritarian direction, talking about Morrison. This is also a rejection of that. All the attacks on the freedom of speech, freedom to organise, freedom to protest will be resisted. This is what she said. They will be resisted by the trade union movement of Australia. We will fight that direction. We'll fight that government going in, so never underestimate the working people. So again, Sally McManus and Michelle O'Neill, your silence is deafening. Where are you?